How are you, Irv?
Rich, I'm doing well, Rich, and we just we're getting all season and everybody gets busy and it's so great to talk to you.
Yeah.
But it really is because you know how much I love you, and then it's like an avalanche of stuff just goes.
It's unbelievable.
Like,
I know.
I can't even sit here and talk about how much we love each other. We got so much to talk about.
I know. I know. Well, do you have any memories of Denny Green? Any times that you spent with him that you'd like to share with the audience here?
Denny was a special guy and a unique guy, and I just can't believe when I I'm sitting here in my meeting. I'm going over before the season start going over all the numbers. You just hate to sit down and go through going through all of this stuff, and I look on my iPad. We always get breaking news, and I said, "What? Coach Green, such a high-spirited, life-loving person, gone like that? It just blows my mind, and it saddens me because Denny Green, he was one of those players' coaches. You love to play with, you love to play for him, you love being around him. He was one of the guys, and to see him go. So I'm praying for his family and all of that in that situation."
Michael Irvin joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, let's get to the other news that's going on right now. I guess the top story out of Dallas that Ezekiel Elliott might be in hot water in Columbus. He's been accused of abusing his girlfriend. He denies it. She posted these pictures. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Michael. I mean, we don't know much about it, but.
Yeah, and as I said to you, and you guys, and then let me first say, of all things, this is just being in this situation is horrific for anybody. First of all, there's no answer ever, no reason ever to hit a woman or any of that. I say hear about it because I know I'm going to be asked about it. First thing I did was hit Ezekiel. I said, "Ezekiel, what's going on? I'm going to be asked about this. What happened?" And he hit me back saying, "Hey, Michael, the truth will come out here. I'm confident that the truth will come out. This is a situation where it's just a girlfriend that we're coming to an end of a relationship and we're having some tough times." But he says he really believes he didn't do anything wrong. Now, and he mentioned at the time we're in, I know you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and I know trained investigators, the police did and decided not to arrest him. But you never know. You just kind of sit around and wait for more information to come out, and this is the early stages, and we don't know if other information is coming out, but he says the truth will come out and that he will be okay when the truth comes out.
Michael Irvin joining me here with the latest on Ezekiel Elliott, straight from Ezekiel Elliott here on the Rich Eisen Show.
Yeah, I was texting Rich while you were talking, and I was texting back and forth while you were talking about Denny Green, so I'm trying to text him and make sure you're not talking to me at the same time. So we were just done texting as we came back, as you came to me. So that's exactly what he was basically
saying.
Well,
how integral a role do you think he's going to play for the Dallas Cowboys this year?
Yeah, but Rich, before we get to that, this is whatever happens with it, and we don't know what's going to happen because it's so early and we just got it. But I try to tell young guys, man, you got to let this be. These are great lessons. I mean, you can't even be in a volatile relationship. Anything, and young people now today, they're in those relationships where, they have these great arguments, then they have those great moments of making up, and I'm sure a lot of them enjoy the great moments of making up, but you can't allow yourself to be in volatile relationships because the NFL is not playing with this, and we are hoping that the world and the law follows and don't play with this. Ray Rice is offering his whole salary. He said, I'll donate my whole salary. That's the NFL saying we don't play with this. You see Greg Hardy, he can't even find a team. He's trying to find a team, and I know Greg Hardy's reached out to me to sit and talk. He wants to sit and talk. He's been going to domestic violence classes and everything on his own. I know these things to be fact. So you have to see these situations and say, man, they are not playing with this. So I can't allow or give anybody the opportunity to ruin my life by having these volatile relationships. You just can't do it.
Or on the other side, as you say, you just don't lay a hand on a woman. But we don't know,
Right.
we don't know what is happening here just yet. This is really, this couldn't be more fresh with you having just texted with him, finding out that this is a girlfriend of his that he's having a rough breakup with right now, and that the truth will come out. Michael Irvin here on the Rich Eisen Show. That did say, I mean, how integral a role is he going to have this year? I mean, is this something where that Jerry might just sit him down and then not play him? Is that a possibility?
We don't know. We just don't have enough information on what happens, what has happened, what has happened here. But you just don't know. And as I say, when I'm talking about you just can't get in those volatile relationships, I'm not talking about just Ezekiel Elliott. I'm talking to all young guys. I'm talking about what I say to young guys that are coming in this league. I'm talking about what I said to the young guys at the University of Miami at Paradise Camp last week. You can't do it. You cannot.
You want to, Law, you want to pick up on him and figure something out here? Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. He just went ahead and texted the guy,
knowing that he was going to be asked about it by us, by anyone else today.
All right, we got Irv back. Hopefully it's a little bit of a clearer connection.
Me now.
There you go, Irv.
Hey, I got Ezekiel Elliott calling me now. Hold on a second. Let me see what he says.
Okay, you got it.
Hold on.
All right, here we go. Irv, let's take a break. Is Irv back on the phone line?
Yeah, Irv's on.
All right, Irv, I got about 4 minutes. What do you have for me, brother?
Yeah, Rich, you were calling in, and I'm seeing you calling and trying to hear what really happened and what Zeke was sharing with me.
Okay. Well, is there anything you can share with us now?
And it's wild. Well, I can tell you this. First of all, when I asked if you did church, said Michael, he said I didn't put my hands on her. What happened is it's his birthday, and him and some friends were with a friend that owns a club, and they were at a spot. She showed up at the spot, he said, and then they all went back to his house, and she came over uninvited because she wanted to celebrate his birthday, and I guess they were breaking up. And from what he said to me, she may have even gotten in a situation with someone else outside of the spot before he got to her house, and they're looking for the videotape for that. The police came, and she said something to the police, and the police asked questions to all of the people that were around, and of course, they couldn't corroborate it, and I just let him go. But I said, did you ever touch the girl? He said, Michael, I never got within 10 feet of her. I never touched, and I'm just giving you what he said.
No, and I appreciate that, and of course, the danger of this is that she has a different story and doesn't have the platform to call into this show and have a Hall of Fame football player speaking on her behalf. So I guess let's just I guess leave it at that. How did he sound to you, Michael?
Well, he sounded pretty upset about the whole situation. That it went down and that this thing is going down and happening. And I said, do you hit women? He said, Michael, I don't do that. I don't do it. It's just a situation that they're breaking up, and I guess it's a bad breakup, So I was trying to get it, and you're calling me, and I know you were calling me.
No, I know. I appreciate it.
Ask the questions and everything, but wow, here again, it's just when you're in the situation you're in, you have to remain removed from all situations like this, and that's all I can tell them. It's all I can tell them. That's all I can tell. I tell every athlete. I tell every player. There's no reason to ever touch a woman, and there's no reason. You got to try to stay out of these situations.
Irv, I've got 1 minute left. I know you're quite passionate about equality issues. In 1 minute, can you tell me your thoughts on the NBA removing their All-Star game from Charlotte?
I appreciate Commissioner Silver and what he's doing and the way he's approached this situation. And he rightly said, you know, I'm not using the NBA to change laws or anything, but we have a game that we want to celebrate the game with everybody, and anything that separates everybody, well, that's just not what we're a part of. So I appreciate what the NBA is saying.
Well, Irv, thanks for calling back again and telling us what you know about a hot story in the Metroplex and obviously across the NFL landscape. And I'll see you out at the Hall of Fame, and then back here maybe when you come in to shoot the Game Day Morning promo, we'll get you in studio to talk some ball next month.
I can't believe you put me to work like this today, Rich. I can't believe you made no reporter.
Hey, you could say "back to you, Rich." That's the phrase. Back to you, Rich.
Back to you, Rich.
Thanks, sir. Take care.
Buddy.
Same to you.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.